Shabbat Shalom. I was recently at a celebration for a friend who has enjoyed a successful business career for over 40 years. She has weathered storms of economic recession, personal disappointment, and many other challenges, yet she always seems to thrive. Someone asked her for her secret to success, and she responded, "When faced with a crisis, I don't get mired in worry. Instead, I ask myself, what can I accomplish, and how can this moment guide me? I try to view problems as opportunities." We know that in life, in any life, there are many unexpected moments of both crisis and opportunity. In this week's Torah portion, we learn about such a watershed moment. The Israelites are on their way to Canaan. They are so close to the promised land that they are already talking about how it will be divided up. God tells Moses that each tribe will be appointed a portion of the land as an inheritance, to be passed from father to son. They take a second census to account for the male heads of households. Our text then narrows in on a group of 5 sisters: Mala, Noah, Hagla, Milcha, and Tirzah, collectively known as the daughters of Zelophehad. The sisters have just undergone a defining moment. Their father, the last male of the Zelophehad clan, has died. We can imagine that prior to this moment, they would have had assumptions and expectations about their future. The land would be parceled out by their father and passed to their sons from generation to generation. But when their father dies, it is uncertain who will inherit the land. As women, the daughters of Zelophehad were not allowed to own land. But the sisters recognized an opportunity for a new way forward. They presented a challenge to the system of land division and approached Moses, requesting that the land of their deceased father be given to them in order that they can carry on the inheritance of their clan. Instead of answering them directly, Moses turns to God for counsel. In a show of emphatic support, God answers, "The daughters of Zelophehad speak justly. You shall give them a hereditary holding among their father's kinsmen." And if that weren't abundantly clear, God reiterates, "Transfer their father's share to them." Furthermore, God said to the Israelites, "You shall say, if a man dies and he has no son, you shall cause his inheritance to pass to his daughter. This shall remain for Israel as a legal norm." The daughters of Zelophehad blazed a trail for others. We can only imagine how this momentous event shifted their sense of who they were within society and what was possible for them. It must have taken great courage and conviction for them to speak their truth to power, given that not so long before this episode, Korach and his followers were swallowed up by the earth for challenging Moses' authority. The daughters of Zelophehad had to be vulnerable to make lasting change, and their cause had social and economic ramifications well beyond their individual lives. They carved out a place for themselves, orphaned women, a class of people who historically had no power, who were not counted in the census, who were not seen, did not have access, and did not have an inheritance. This episode highlights the issues of inheritance, access, privilege, entitlement, and equality, and couldn't be more relevant to our current moment. We are facing some difficult times in which new laws are making it easier to legally discriminate against women, minorities, and others with less power. Let us remember the lesson of the daughters. In the face of injustice, we must speak truth to power, using the tools at our disposal, from voting to calling our representatives, to supporting the less fortunate, to educating ourselves about patterns of disenfranchisement that seem to repeat again and again. The struggle never ends. Yet blessing can come from struggle. The Hasidic master, Rabbi Nachman of Breslau, turns to the word ivri, Hebrew, as a definition for what it means to be Jewish. Ivri comes from the linguistic root that means one who crosses over boundaries and obstacles. Our struggles become a part of our personal story. They make us who we are, and they allow us to grow into new ways of being. As Jews, we are constantly challenged to wrestle with injustice and identify moments when we are summoned to speak out for change. Things that we thought were carved in stone can change, even law. And this is our inheritance. Shabbat Shalom.